focus, determination, passion, stamina, and the will to win. The end result, the Ricmotech Sports Car Series. Extreme Motorsports brings you the Ricmotech Sports Car Series, brought to you by Ricmotech High Performance Sim Racing Equipment, and in part by TD's Tree Service. Live Mondays, 8:30 p.m. Eastern.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Apex Racing TV. Welcome to the Extreme Motorsports Ricmotech Sports Car Series, brought to you in part by TD's Tree Service. And welcome to the halfway point of the season. And we couldn't have gone to a better circuit. We're at Monza in Italy, the Cathedral of Speed for round 6 of 12 in the Ricmotech Sports Car Series. The slipstreaming will definitely be in full effect here. Joining me in the commentary box for this one is Andrew Woodhouse. He'll be along shortly. And first of all, it's iRacing veteran Alex Simpson. Good evening, Alex.
Yep, good evening and good morning, wherever you are, to everybody. Good to be here, as always. Looking forward to this one. Monza, fantastic circuit. Like you say, slipstreaming is going to be rife tonight. We're going to have some great battles out there. I can't imagine the MX-5s are going to be able to break free at all.
Won't have any time for a track guide today, but we do have Alex in the commentary box, and he is as good as a track guide, so
we'll get one done.
Running through the grids, as you can see, we're getting things underway pretty sharpish here. We're about to get going in the Mustang. Stephen Thomas starts on the pole. Mike Dam starts in second. He's already on a hat-trick, or he has completed a hat-trick of wins. He's going for a 4 in a row. He starts in second. Pasquale Iannucci third. Kevin Ford fourth. And he finally get a bit of form together. 5th is Leon Wright, 6th Ruddock, 7th Davis, 8th Katila, 9th Osborne, and 10th Ruddock. And the top 5 in the Mazdas, Hartley, Schwenke, Iannucci, Raf J and Jacobs. But now the field is in the hands of Stephen Thomas. Safety car in the pit lane. 1 hour race. We're ready to get the Ricmotech Sports Car Series underway. Down the front straight they go. We're going to go through the grid hatchings. Green flag is in the air and runs away here at Monza.
Yeah, good start from the Mustangs. No one mixing it up too much out there. All about this braking, isn't it? For turn 1, can cause havoc. We're giving each other a little space. Thomas in, no problem. Oh.
Everyone, good job through the first chicane, and also
no issues there. Sorry, just got poked to bring our colleague into the booth there as the guys come down towards turn 1 in the MX-5's first lap, and yeah, again looks like a clean start so far. Like I say, this all important turn 1. Watch the slow down penalties on that inside curb. It's very easy to get. The last thing you want to do is pick up one there on the first lap, but it looks like everybody's through cleanly, Adam.
Indeed they are, and the Mazda MX-5 is now just going through the Curva Grande for the first time, and it's a good morning to Andrew Woodhouse. We'll hear from him in just a moment. But for the Mustangs, it looks like good stuff from Rob Hartley, the Mazda veteran, doing a pretty good job in the early going, and Travis Schwenke signing in second place. No need to rush for any of those guys, because as Alex said briefly before we got the race underway, they are going to be pretty much glued together for the duration. As problem for Raymond Bader Jr., Alex. Car 00 has disappeared, and looks like he may be done for.
Yeah, not sure what happened there. A few guys obviously not running that were in the practice session. So 25 cars running now, so with the 26 Raymond. So yeah, not really sure what happened to Raymond at all, but it was at the end of the first lap. I just saw him drop down, so news for him.
Stephen Thomas then comes into the final corner to complete the opening lap in the Mustangs. You're looking at pretty much just over a 2-minute lap. It looks like Raymond Bader Jr. has been able to solve his connection gremlins and is still in the race. Hasn't been booted by the server. He currently remains in 12th position.
That's always handy, isn't it? I mean, he was gone for a long time there. Like, that was a good lap that he was disappeared for. So, yeah, very lucky not to get booted out of there.
Wheel to wheel in the background, that is Travis Davis trying to get a look in on Leon Wright. And car in the background, that's who was that? That was Chad Osborne trying to get a move done on Ruddock, and he's absolutely wiped the front of his Mustang off.
Yeah, he caught Ruddock there as well, didn't he? So someone else around in the background, it's Michael Ruddock. So he's just recovering. Raymond's disappeared once again, so connection. I hope that wasn't anything to do with that second incident. Let's go back and just double check. It's probably the Constantine effect there more than anything with the incident that happened before. Oh, or did he just lose it on his own? No, he got hit from behind by Raymond actually, and then Raymond disappeared. So, could well have been a connection issue that caused that.
Raymond Bader Jr., we should mention, racing from the West Coast. I think the only driver in the field today racing from California, so yeah, he's tumbling down the order now, and we could be seeing the end of him. In fact, he's exited the session, so yeah, problems for him. Yeah, start of lap 2, going through the Ascari chicane, then race order. Thomas leads Mike Dam, 3rd Pasquale Iannucci, 4th Kevin Ford, 5th is Leon Wright, the top 5 as they started, and then Travis Davis, the first of the movers in the Mustangs, in 6th, and then a bit of a gap now to Russell Ruddock, who finds himself in 7th, 8th Chad Osborne, 9th Brendan Whitworth, 10th Matthew Katila. So that is the state of play at the moment, and Alex, the Mustangs obviously known for not being too good when it comes to the slipstream. You don't really get much of a tow. What sort of race are we expecting to see then in this class?
Yeah, it's not that they don't get an awful lot of tow, because they do, because the lap time that you can gain is quite considerable over the course of the of a whole lap, but it just doesn't seem to be like enough to get you alongside, if that makes any sense. So it's quite difficult to get the moves done, so you've genuinely got to have a better exit than the car ahead of you to make the move complete, which is kind of the way it should be, I feel. You know, you've got to be quicker. You don't want it to be just on the draft, like almost like the MX-5 is so strong that actually you can get a slightly worse exit, but by the end of the straight, we saw at Watkins Glen last week with the BSR series, you know, that they were able to get by regardless of how their exit was from turn 1. So yeah, it's just not as easy to overtake, I think. But can't remember who it was who corrected us. Said no, draft's massive. It's not good enough to get completely alongside.
Good morning, Andrew Woodhouse.
Dawatuti.
Dawatuti, indeed. Yes, welcome to Monza, and yeah, how are you keeping?
Oh, very good, very good. Yeah, I do apologise for that. A little bit sleepy morning, but yeah, it's getting up to be a nice race. You can see that big pack at the front, with Thomas heading it, looking very feisty indeed. Travis Davis just kind of losing touch that little bit, isn't he? And he'll be trying so hard to get on the back of this one now, won't he, Adam?
Yeah, definitely. Brandon Whitworth is one that's definitely shaking a leg. He's just done a really good move around the outside of Russell Ruddock to get himself into 7th place.
Here comes Dam.
Mike Dam as well. Battle for the lead. Looking on here as they cross the line. This has been building up for quite some time. Starts of lap 4 now.
Side by side then over the line, Alex towards the Rettifilio, and Mike Dam has the perfect trajectory on the inside, and Thomas not fighting it at all. Dam makes the corner and settles into the lead and gets a great exit as well, somehow, despite having the worst line coming into the corner.
Yeah, it looked like he took so much speed into there, didn't he? He was late on the brakes as well. Even on the inside, he was later than Thomas. So, yeah, but yeah, managed to make the corner. No slowdown penalty. Thomas, I feel, wanted to, could have a little look right now, but he's yeah, no, he just stays in behind. Yeah, this is going to be a long race, I think, for those guys. They're all very, very close on pace, so just, yeah, don't want to do anything too rash, do you? And lose a whole chunk of time early on in this one. Oh, I was a little bit out of shape for Dam. Just goes to show he's giving it some out there.
And look at that, in the space of this lap, Leon Wright, who was Leon Wright's off. He's off at the second Lesmo, and he's lost a second on this lap, and that's just made it a little bit worse, going through the gravel trap and scuppering any momentum he had. Travis Davis, meanwhile, he might use this as a bit of a carrot, because Adam, maybe that could be his ticket to this top group if he can get onto the back of Leon Wright.
It's a shame for Leon Wright, because he set the fastest lap of the race on that last lap, so he was the quickest guy out there, but now he's 2 seconds off the back of them, and 2 seconds is usually is just over the distance needed to pick up the slipstream of the cars in front. So that is a shame for him. He might start to get cut adrift from that lead four pack. Mike Dam, Thomas, Iannucci and Ford.
Yeah, a lap time that was so fast, it was faster than Stephen Thomas's qualifying time, and the pole position. But yeah, maybe going too fast and losing contact, and he's just kind of in that no man's land between that front group and Davis. Do you reckon, Alex, it's worth dropping back to Travis and trying to work together, or do you try and
I think
claw your way back?
Yeah, I think Travis is coming to him now as well. He's in that draft range, so hopefully, yeah, that will just naturally happen. I think. I would, if I'm right, I try and push as much as I can, stay as close to that little front pack as possible. If they start battling, of course, he'll get back into the draft fairly easily. You know, just needs to wait for that to happen.
The race stewards have their first incident of the day to have a look at. Incident involving car 95 and 24. That was what we saw at the start between Russell Ruddock and Chad Osborne going into the first corner. The stewards are taking a look at that one.
Wright's all over the place at the moment. He's absolutely lighting it up. The exit of pretty much every single corner out there on the Monza circuit, and not really helping his lap times. But he was quick earlier on. I'm sure he can come back. Looking at the MX-5s, and Travis Frenke is very, very close to Rob Hartley, but definitely
sorry, Andrew. He just went super wide again. Just to pick up on your point, I think he's just trying too hard to get back into that draft now, and actually it's going the other way. You know, he's just dropping further and further back. So
one thing I've learned from experience at this track is you can't try too hard. You can't overdrive the circuit, because it won't give you anything back.
Yeah, no, exactly that. So often in iRacing that's the case as well, especially with the current tyre model, where you start to really melt the tyres very quickly, and then that's it, it's just a downward spiral. I'm not quite sure what happened to Joe Boyd and John Allen. That second pack in the MX-5s, well, Boyd's just got to slow down. That's what happened to him. But yeah,
not the only one as well.
Allen and Co was right on the pack of the front four, and this, yeah, all of a sudden this MX-5 group's just sort of split apart.
Jeff Jacobs went for a slowdown as well over the Curva della Roggia, and race stewards, what are they saying there? Penalty. What does that mean? I'm not sure what that means. Just basically just giving a warning.
Oh, we'll read you the text. It says penalty box for car 24, which is Chad Osborne. Incident responsibility warning.
Maybe that's all that is then. Is it's just a bit of a warning, and yeah, nobody's fault maybe completely, but who knows? And this group's the second group of MX-5s is getting quite large as well now.
Oh, three
Look
wide.
At the front group.
Yeah, 3 wide nearly going into the parabolica between Schwenke, Iannucci and Hartley.
Oh well, the gloves are off then. I thought they were being quite gentlemanly, maybe saving some fuel, Alex, but it turns out that the only thing they need saving is them from themselves, maybe, as they go through the start-finish line, start lap 7.
Yeah, I think because the packs broke apart a bit Oh wow, here we go. I think they don't mind too much, you know, of having a little battle out there. So when it was a massive train, they kind of kept themselves to themselves.
Iannucci in very hot, but manages to make it, as we saw with Mike Dam. Front of the race, and in 4th place, Tom Rafferty holding on quite nicely to this one.
Only two of the drivers in this group have won races this season, and they are Travis Schwenke and Rob Hartley. Giuseppe Iannucci yet to win a race in the Mazda MX-5s this season, and Tom Rafferty hasn't won at all. So we'll see if they're able to get it done here. Long way to go, of course. We're nearly a quarter of an hour of the way through this 1 hour race, and of course we've still got the pit stop still to take place too.
Well, of course, for the viewers at home as well, Giuseppe Iannucci's won many races in the series before, and yeah, doing a fine job again, leading this one here at Monza.
It's close at the front.
Oh,
it's less than a tenth between
Thomas.
Yeah, between Thomas and Dam as they cross the line into the first corner. Lap 7.
At the inside, then Stephen Thomas. Mike Dam's going to have to try and get the cut back. Is he going to have enough to maybe make a charge into the road here? These guys don't seem to be fighting too hard, Alex, in terms of defending the line or anything, because they know that this is probably going to be a regular occurrence throughout this 1 hour race.
Yeah, I think so. And Thomas was exactly the same when Dam got the run on him as well. So for the moment, I think maybe once we see the pit stops, I think then maybe it will start to be a little bit more. As they're too wide further back. That's Leon Wright and Davis, and Davis is through. Had enough of sitting behind Leon, who was desperate to try and close that front gap up, and he's just slipped further and further back.
I've got recent experience of this car at this track from the Club 73 Touring Car Championship, and really you just got to make sure that your exits are perfect, and that's your main responsibility, you know, in the Mustang, because it's not a car that's particularly agile, so you have to make sure that nailing those braking points. I know it sounds a bit basic, Alex, but that's what all Monza is, really.
Yeah, well, exactly. With such long runs, you know, it is all about the exits. You would know, got a first and a second in the Club 73.
I'll be honest with you,
in the Mustang.
Don't imagine being able to hang with these guys, but yeah, I would imagine that you know, I'd be well and truly last at the moment, but you never know.
Front four here then. Stephen Thomas hasn't won a race all season. The only car in this field to topple Mike Dam this season has been Scott Kennedy and Kevin Ford, but Kennedy not in that pack as here comes down Mike Dam for the lead then into the first corner. Has he gone in too deep? Yes, he has. All over the place.
Well,
that's going to be a slowdown.
And that's going to be a slowdown, and he's lost time as well, having to go across the sleeping policeman on the inside. And that, you know what, that might just cook his goose in terms of this top group. I wonder if he can stay with it now. Looks like he's okay. Looks like he's back up to speed again.
Yes,
Alex, I wouldn't race against this lot anyway, because they're not all going to crash at the first corner.
Well, this is it.
Well, Mike Dam definitely had his opportunity. Definitely had to take evasive action and go over the poliziotto addormentato. Sleeping policeman in Italian.
Very good.
But he's carrying on in fourth.
Well, the sleeping policeman walked up, said, "You're nicked," to Mike Dam, and but unfortunately for him anyway. However, he's still with this group. He needs to work extra hard now because he's just losing contact, Alex. He's about 0.6 of a second.
Dai Rimoso, you're nicked in Italian.
There you go.
Yeah, going to Sky.
Book him, Dano.
I'm sure it'll be fine. He's closing back up in the draft. Look at the MX-5s. They're going at it again. Not quite 3 wide, but could be.
Well, 3 wide's pretty calm, I think, in the MX-5s as they go to the first corner. 2 wide definitely is something that happens regularly, just like it is now.
Hartley's taking the long way around through the Rettifilio, but he's got a nice exit, and he's definitely going to set himself up for a nice move into the Rogia. See what he can do. Is he going to go to the outside, or is he going to stay behind Schwenke. No, he's going to pull out from the slipstream, go a long way around Curva Grande. He's got the inside line for the first part of the Rogier, so let's see whether he can do it. Who's going to be braver on the brakes? Well, it won't matter because Hartley's just slotted in to the back into line, which might be a fairly sensible option.
Difference in lap times is quite big, as you probably expect. 2:06 is the Mustangs are doing. 2:14s the MX-5s here today. So I don't think it'll be too long before we start to see some lapping take place.
Alex, these guys are just far too rational, aren't they?
Yeah.
What on earth? What's happening? Do you know?
Let's get them in the BSR series for a little bit. We'll sort them out.
Well, that will sort them out. However, well, I'm not going to say what I was going to say. As it up the inside goes Hartley, and he's through into the Ascari. Can he keep it? Ooh, a little bit wide, at risk of a slowdown on that outside there, but keeps the lead. However, the momentum of Schwenke is going to take him past Rob Hartley, surely by the Parabolica, Adam.
The entry speed they carry into the Ascari is phenomenal, isn't it? But here comes Schwenke. 2 wins to his name this season. Going to try and make it free here. He's going to get the lead going into the Parabolica. Hartley trying to hold the inside line, but going to be futile, really. For now, at least.
Lifted off on the way in. Made a bit of a mess of the corner, to be honest, and he's lost about 3/4 of a second. Well, not 3/4 of a second, maybe half a second. And Tom Ratchey's going through into 3rd place, and he's got a long slipstream that's going to benefit him massively going over the start-finish line.
If these guys are as close as they are on the final lap, as they could be on the final lap, then we could have a photo finish on our hands here. That was incredibly close at the line between Schwenke and Hartley, going across the line.
Schwenke turns in first, then it's Hartley, then it's Ratchey, and then it's Iannucci.
Hartley with a right tank slapper there on the exit of the Resifilia. Had to wrestle with the car there, lost a few hundredths of a second, hasn't done much, but...
Oh, he's going to shove Ratchey, is he?
Yeah, Ratchey and Iannucci very close.
Lucky there, because Ratchey was on the grass, so anything could have happened.
Running through some of the points as well going into this race meeting. While we're looking at these Mazdas, we'll tell you about them. Travis Schwenke leads the way by about 26 points over Rob Hartley in second. So the top 2 in the championship fighting it out for the top 2 positions on the circuit. And then in 3rd place we've got Tom Rathje. He's in that group as well, no surprises. Jeff Jacobs 4th, John Allen 5th, and Giuseppe Iannucci 6th in the standings, 71 points behind Travis Schwenke. He's fighting in and amongst this lead group. Peyton, Klassen and Holmes. Those are the pro drivers in the Mazdas. And then over in the AM category, the open category, here we've got Chris Torman here leading the points there. Joe Boyd 2nd, Dan Garrido in 3rd, and then Jordi Fike 4th, Ryan Walker 5th, Mike Key 6th, Mike Taylor, Sanchinelli and Anthony Carbone in the open category. And we're also ready through the Mustang category points. We've got Mike Dam on top there, and then 2nd Kevin Ford. After what happened last week at Lime Rock Park with Kevin Ford's crash and subsequent engine explosion, the gap is now 28 points between them. And then Pat Iannucci in 3rd for Team Potato, Stephen Thomas in 4th, Scott Kennedy 5th, only 1 point between those two. And then in the open category we've got Mike Ruddock leading, excuse me, Scott Brooks in 2nd, 3rd Mike Monaghan, 4th Chad Osborne, and 5th Jennifer McDonnell.
And the gap is coming down, incidentally, between the MX-5s at the front of the field and John Allen. It's now down to exactly 5 seconds, but I think Allen may be just pushing quite hard in his pursuit. Almost coming up to lap some of the MX-5s at the rear of the field now. And I think just before the pit stops, it's going to be a good time to take a commercial break. And yeah, some information about the guys at Ricmotech. Welcome back to the Ricmotech Sports Car Series here on Apex Racing TV. Andrew Woodhouse, Adam Bath and Alex Simpson bringing you all the action from the Autodromo Nazionale in Monza in Italy. And what action we're seeing at the front of the field, Adam, Kevin Ford is just taking the lead.
Yeah, it's taken 12 laps, but Kevin Ford has finally hit the front, needs to get some points on Mike Dam, who's now the 4th car in this lead battle. He's drifted to the back, and yeah, this is suiting Kevin Ford quite nicely here to get some points back. He just needs to get the win now.
Yeah, and he just needs to not have any issues really like he did last week.
Needs to get through some pit stops as well, hasn't he? Yeah, he's got to get through quite a bit of the race.
Oh yeah, we're not even at half distance yet. 25 minutes gone, or thereabouts, and Kevin Ford, it's a good time for him to test his muscle at the front.
Can't see what Stephen Thomas has got, because Pasquale Iannucci's just dropped back a tiny little bit. He'll still be in the slipstream, but yeah, Mike Dam now having to deal with Iannucci as they go into the Ascari chicane. Kevin Ford now coming up to lap one of his fellow Mustangs. That's the car of Scott Brooks. Still pretty close in the Mazdas as well. I keep seeing the lead positions change in that as well. Rob Hartley continues to lead, but him and Travis Fenke are going wheel to wheel yet again down the front straight.
It's Iannucci actually this time, who's alongside Rob Hartley. And Travis Fenke just behind, so Team Potato on the attack. See what he does on the outside line then. Actually just eases into 2nd place, which makes sense. This group still have a responsibility, I think, to each other to break away, Alex, because it's 5 seconds back to John Allen, but it keeps ebbing and flowing. Allen keeps putting in a good lap and then dropping back a little bit.
You're right. The more they battle, the more he'll catch up. He's got a bit of a gap now from Boyd, so as I just thought for a moment Iannucci was going to go for a move, but you can literally hear him backing off as looking at the front suspension there. But yeah, so if they just carry on just having a little battle here, there and everywhere, then they're going to allow Allen back into this, which they don't really want to do, because Allen's definitely got the potential to get back in it to go on and win.
Tom Ratcher's just starting to lose a bit of contact, Adam, with this front pack. Dropped to a 2nd behind, and he needs to really get on it now in order to keep his chances of winning intact.
Gonna try and do that, isn't he? They are coming up to some traffic now, the Mustangs. That might help things a little bit. Kevin Ford's starting to negotiate the Mustangs. Usually a sign that we're about to get to the pit stops when this starts to happen. Especially in like the other series that we do, like the Club 73 Touring Car Championship. Oh, the Iannucci, Pasquale Iannucci literally caught them at the most inopportune time. And look how much it split these guys up now.
Oh yeah, big problem there for Iannucci, but going to have to get on it and just try and stick with this group, because otherwise he's going to be in a lot of trouble. That's what lap traffic can do. We mentioned it so many times in this series, and yeah, Iannucci and Mike Dam now just half a second adrift of Thomas and Ford. Kevin Ford looks quick again, Alex. He seems to be the one really driving the pace of the race forward, like he was last week. He was so quick in the last meeting.
Yeah, I think just got that last little bit of his package, isn't he, that he's got to put together, that consistency element, and he's going to be able to some really strong results. So, but since he's, like you say, since he got to the front, it definitely appears to be. It looked for a minute as if the pack was stringing apart, but actually they've all condensed back down, going down that main straight in towards turn 1. So lap times look pretty consistent. Obviously the usual drop off from the Mustang, but yeah, strong. It took him a while to get to the front, but he's there now, and yeah, people are struggling to get runs on him. So
Kevin Ford has had chances to win races all season. He's only got one to his name, unfortunately. Circuit Gilles Villeneuve is quite a tail behind all of these. Circuit Gilles Villeneuve got a slowdown on the final corner of the race, lost it, to Mike Dam there. Brands Hatch done pretty well. Didn't win that one. And then Lime Rock Park last week had that spin whilst in the lead, I think, or fighting for the lead, and then subsequent engine blow up due to the engine overheating. Really had opportunities to win, and as a result of all those issues, he's now 28 points behind Mike Dam. So he needs to get a wriggle on as we are at the halfway point of the season. We've got 6 races to go after this one. We've got Silverstone, Most Sport, a 90-minute one there. We've got Road America, Interlagos, Virginia, and Road Atlanta to end the season. So, Alex, there is still plenty of time for Kevin Ford to get a stranglehold once again back on this championship.
Yeah, one bad race from Dam, and we've seen Dam have disconnects and all sorts of problems. So, you know, and that really will affect him. And I think Dam actually really has got caught behind some traffic here. Has to compromise his line quite a lot through the parabolica, and fortunately still in the draft. And who's that jumped into the pits? Someone's in.
That's Iannucci, yeah.
Yeah, it is. So in, dives in. Is it the right time? Who knows? So important to be in this draft, isn't it? So,
well, they just negotiated the front of the Mustangs. As who is that trying to forge a path through the middle? That's Travis Davis putting his life and everyone else's life in his own hands here as they go through the Vesuvio. He's just in between Schwenke and Giuseppe Iannucci as he goes through the Vesuvio. Mustangs trying to forge a way through, and especially on one of the quickest parts of the circuit, really going to be difficult indeed, and the drivers are going to have to be looking in the mirrors and listening to that spotter for sure as Pasquale Iannucci finishes his pit stop, 22.7 seconds.
Yeah, looks like a reasonable stop. Another driver who pitted as well was John Allen, so MX5's deciding to jump in at the halfway mark also. We'll keep an eye on what the leaders do on the MX5 to see if Alan can close up any more. And actually, talking of closing up, Travis has done that quite considerably. Gap is down to 3.8 seconds. It was 5 at 1 second. He is bringing Leon Wright back with him, so Leon definitely, settled back down and realised actually if he can stay with Travis, he might have a chance of rejoining this lead battle. So last lap they took 1.5 seconds out of the leaders actually.
206.4, yeah, by Travis Davis, quickest driver on the circuit on that last lap compared to the 208s being done by Dam and Thomas, and a 207.1 by Kevin Ford. But yeah, Alex, you're right, that gap could come down, especially if they have to deal with the traffic. One name that you may have seen on the timing screen and may not have seen before, and that is Albert Schutz, who is filling in for Mike Burgett tonight. He's currently running in 12th place in class. He's already made his pit stop as well, so yeah, newcomer to the series, or well, a new face that you may have seen on the broadcast. Into the pits comes everyone in the Mustangs.
Race on pit lane then.
Ford in, also our 2 leaders in the Mazdas in, so it's all happening in the pit lane now.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on what they do as far as the times go, as the blimp just happens to go behind the pit lane. Not very helpful at all, is it?
Right, race off, NASCAR style race off pit road then. See who gets it done. Tyres and fuel getting changed. Kevin Ford, very quick pit stop, 21.2 seconds away. He's definitely going to win the race out of the pit lane. Thomas in second. Mike Dam should be in third. What about the drivers that pitted on that last lap? See whereabouts those guys are as we come over the line.
Iannucci, that was the important one, isn't he? He comes down the straight now.
Where is he?
He's right with them. Yeah, he's not jumped them, but he is right with them at least. Bit of gap, bit of separation between all of them, like one or so seconds. So all of a sudden the pit stop maybe just sort of spread this race apart a little bit.
Interesting. Yes. Bless you, Mr. Woodhouse. And
yeah, sorry about that.
I will look that up in Italian actually.
Oh.
Salute.
Yeah, I must admit, I'd rather not sneeze down the microphone. So I do apologise, viewers, for the leave of absence for a few minutes. But yeah,
While you're away,
Kevin Paul's taking
Andrew.
the leave of absence, isn't he? In the front.
Yeah, yes. Well, I was also going to say, while you're away, obviously the MX-5s have pitted. Alan 20.7 closed up 3 seconds in the pits on Iannucci. He did lose a little bit of time to Hartley, but they're kind of in the middle of that battle now. So if Travis comes out just behind Hartley, you have to think they'll all be in some sort of draft.
Yes.
So this could well have worked out quite nicely for Alan.
Yeah, I think
Just got the tail end, doesn't he? I'm just looking at the speeds now. He's just closing in on Iannucci. So
now, obviously, remember that we have seen John Allen run out of fuel before.
well,
in this league, so he's obviously taken a risk to try and make that time up. And yeah, it's we'll have to see if it pays off. 3 seconds is a good gain. Like you say, if he lost time to the leader as well, though. So
we've seen other cars run out of fuel at this circuit as well. We saw that crazy situation in the Jettas in the Club 73 Touring Car Championship where they were running out before the end.
yeah, and it just, you know, it's that sort of circuit, I think, where as well, running out of fuel because of just the nature of the circuit, Alex. Really, it's absolutely crippling if you have to slow down at the end if you're not going to make it.
Yeah, you just can't afford to. Really, that's the thing.
Stephen Thomas is the man on a mission. The gap is now down to 0.4 of a second. It was over a second a few laps ago. Be coming back into the equation here, despite that really heavy rear damage that he's got to the back of his Mustang on a very quick lap so far.
I take it that was lap 1, was it? Did someone run into him?
I
was
guess
on
so.
pole,
It
so
hasn't been anything notable, yeah. Last time around, Pasquale Iannucci was the quickest driver of anybody. 2:06.541. Alex, and even though he's been on the tyres a little bit longer, well, a lap longer, he's starting to reel the guys in a bit, despite not having any slipstream.
Yeah, what's he got? About half a second that I think he needs to gain here to try and get it back. So he'll be hoping that the guys at the front start battling again. Saw what happened with Leon Wright and Travis. And actually those two have switched places after the pit stops as well, so Leon back in front of Davis.
Right then.
Can't quite get back in the draft, can they, those two? No matter what happens. And, you know, you have to feel like if they were just able to get there, they'd be able to hold on. What's going on in the MX-5s? They're into the pits as well, so Swanky's in.
Tom Ruffjay overshot the pit box. He had to do a bit of reversing. That could cost him dear here, but
oh, it looks like we just lost Adam, and Andrew's having a sneezing fit, so we're down to me. And look at that, so Travis comes out, yeah, not quite where I thought, but as it is, well, that group is completely back together as well. So Hartley, just 0.2 of a second in front of Iannucci, then you've got Schwenke there. And Alan now is on the tail as well, so he's 0.7 of a second back. So good job from him. What we have had, unfortunately, is Tom has dropped out of that pack. Well, he's 1.5 seconds, so he needs a lap of his life right now just to try and stay with these guys. And yeah, just lost 0.1 of a second looking at the live timing through the Roger. I think I'd like to see Tom there as well. He's so close to sort of mixing it with these guys week in, week out, but just a few tenths here, a few tenths there that he seems to lose. And if he can yeah, it'd be nice to see him give these guys a bit of a run, just have that breakthrough race, and certainly somewhere where he can use it just outside the draft. And look at that, he loses 2/10 just on that straight from John Allen, unfortunately, as Allen really right on the tail now. So that was unfortunate for Rathje. I just hope that that's not his sort of race for the win gone. As yeah, it just seems to be slipping a little bit further back. Come on, guys, have a little battle down into turn 1 that slows you up just a little bit. Geordie Fike into the pits as well. He obviously wasn't in this battle to start off with, so he'll sort of come out a bit further back. What's going on in the Mustangs? Ford still leading the way, just 0.3 of a second from Thomas. Dam very, very close, in fact pulling out onto the inside through Curva Grande. Outside, and then he's ducked back into the pits. That just goes to show with Thomas still getting the slipstream of Ford. It's very difficult to go around the outside there, carry the momentum. Top 3 are 3.1 seconds away from Iannucci now, so yeah, Pat just can't quite close the gap. Oh, Leon Wright, all kinds of out of shape in the background as well. Holds onto the car, no issues in the end. But yeah, once again, these guys are losing a little bit of time. Andrew, are you back, or? Doesn't sound like it. Oh, these MX-5s, very, very close. Yeah, Alan even in front of Iannucci now as well. They're having a little battle, and Giuseppe goes and darts up the inside into Lesmo 1. Good move. Got a Mustang behind them as well, but I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem. Should just breeze past down the straight towards the Scarish chicane. I'm not sure he's going to get them all. The MX-5 is actually not that slow. Oh, where's everybody going? He's got cars on either side of the road. Does make it a little difficult. But I think he's going to get everybody just about. Hartley, perhaps a little bit compromised through here, definitely through the exit as the MX-5 takes that much more speed, but he'll stay right tucked up in the slipstream of the Mustang to ensure that he doesn't get overrun by the guys. But Svenke just 1/10 of a second back. Oh, this is being bump drafting down the straight. That's I think that's Iannucci pushing. I'm not sure who he was pushing there actually. I think it was Hartley, wasn't it? So that's just crazy stuff. So we haven't seen that before. I've fallen victim of that. I'm sure Andrew spoke about Le Mans when we had that. Someone pushing us down the straight, and yeah, boom, into the tyre waltz. You got to be careful. Can end in disaster very, very quickly. But yeah, 2x2 then at the front of the MX-5s. No point in bringing up any graphic because just we're focusing on everyone. Adam is back into the booth. Whether he's back in the session yet, we will see.
Yeah. Look, 2 seconds.
Hello, sir.
Wow. Internet today, yeah.
Oh, what's gone on? Has everybody just got to slow down all at once? Because all of a sudden, Iannucci's just disappearing. Something's going on there. Mustang in the middle of the MX-5 leader pack as well. Needs to be breaking them apart a little bit. All of a sudden, Stephen Thomas 3.4 seconds back from Kevin Ford. Mike Dam has lost considerable time. I don't know where that was. I didn't see it. But from being with these guys in the battle, all of a sudden he's not. He's in 4th place. And yeah, Kevin's broke away at the front with 17 minutes to go. What we'll do is we will throw to a quick break, say hello to the Ricmotech guys, and yeah, hopefully we'll come back and Adam will be back in and connected, and yeah, maybe we'll sort Andrew out as well. We'll be back in just a second.
focus, determination, passion, stamina, and the will to win. The end result, the Ricmotech Sports Car Series. Extreme Motorsports brings you the Ricmotech Sports Car Series, brought to you by Ricmotech high-performance sim racing equipment, and in part by TD's Tree Service. Live Mondays, 8:30 p.m. Eastern.
Welcome back to Monza in the Ricmotech Sports Car Series here on Apex Racing TV. And well, Adam, we've got just under 15 minutes to go, and the race is shaping up quite nicely.
Well, he's gone. So
Alex, hello.
So I will take that one. He's suffering, isn't he, tonight with his connection, unfortunately. So just one of those nights. But yeah, not long to go now, and yeah, the MX-5s, that's getting tasty. I tell you, that's going to be a great battle. Oh no, who was that?
What?
Oh, somehow he saved it. That was Hartley. He was all kinds of out of shape going in there. Rastji's onto the back of this pack now, which I'm delighted about. So got a 5-car battle for the lead of this one. So good on Tom. I was cheering him on while you were away. But yeah, so that's gonna be great.
Can John Allen make this strategy work, do you think?
Well, I think so. I mean, he was the same sort of time in the pits as Hartley. So Hartley got caught with some traffic, which really slowed him up, and then everybody else just sort of all formed up behind them. So, bad line for Rastji. He's lost one. He's lost 1 second there. So just when he got back into it, please don't lose it. Stephen Thomas and Iannucci, they're battling it out in the Mustangs. Dan made a mistake a few laps back and dropped back down to fourth. You can see he's got some damage on the front of his car. But yeah, Ford 3 seconds clear as well. So from a neutral point of view, I'm a bit gutted that the MX-5s are not like all over each other like they were a minute ago.
Rafji and he's dropped back there a little bit. It's not too bad at the moment, but he needs to really get on it. Can confirm received throughput error for Adam Matt. So. Oh dear.
Yeah, we're just hearing in our ear that more penalties for Joe Boyd, unfortunately.
2 black flags according to
yeah, that's the second one. He's got one for an infringement, serving his penalty, unfortunately, there. So, yeah, so that incident with Geordie Fike has absolutely destroyed him here today.
That's the old Pastor Maldonado special, is that?
It was looking good at one point, I have to say, right in the lead battle, but yeah, unfortunately, it's just all gone sideways.
Like I say, old Maldonado, that was my favourite F1 penalty ever. He came in to serve a pit lane speeding penalty and then got a penalty for speeding in the pit lane while he was serving his speeding penalty. Yeah,
well, what can you do when you do that? It's like, oh dear.
That's my ultimate favourite penalty ever. But let's not talk about penalties. Too much controversy apparently from Sunday night. But here, Stephen Thomas is right with Pasquale Iannucci. He's about half a second behind, and looking to take Iannucci down. But they've lost touch with Kevin Ford now. Have they got any chance, Alex, of getting back to him? Maybe if they work together?
You would have to say yes. I mean, looking at the lap times, they were half a second quicker that last lap. So, 10 minutes to go. Just need to keep banging in laps.
Six,
yeah,
five,
they
six
just
laps.
Carry on like that. They'll be okay.
That'll be about right, won't it? It'll be about five or six more laps of this race. Half a second a lap, you can add it all up, but it's it's going to be still a tall order, an even taller order for Mike Dam, who's 3 seconds behind this group. So we'll see what he can do, but I doubt without any slipstream, I think it's going to be very tough for the Canadian. And looking at the Mazda MX-5 battle, back to a 5-car battle nearly now. Alex Rathje has recovered, and is he going to get in on the action? I hope so.
I think he just needs to bide his time really and see what's going to go on with these guys. Make your move with about 2 or 3 laps to go, so you can start to come through the pack. I think really you want to be second, going in.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Into Ascari on the last lap.
Yeah.
So you can make the move. That's where the finish line is. The finish line comes up on you very quickly.
Yeah, and, I think you're right.
Speaking of which, look at that. Look at how Iannucci's getting absolutely freight trained by this group. He's down to 4th.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's tough to know exactly where to be. I think if you're second going in to the final lap, you're still going to struggle because you've really got to go through. And then of course those guys are going to run at you through Curva Grande where we are now. And yeah. To defend it's going to be difficult, so that's a very tactical race from these guys. I wonder if they're all going to be a little bit cagey, like, after you.
Oh yeah, I'm not completely convinced that these guys aren't going to have some contact at some point as well, because it's going to get feisty later on. Might be some moves made, and yeah, we want obviously a clean race, but we're not opposed to a bit of action. Look how dirty it is at the Rogier. Absolutely filthy is the circuit, all the dust and dirt being brought back onto the track. We are joined back by Adam Bath, and yeah, it seems like one of those evenings, mate. We were just saying.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know whether Virgin may be rolling out some firmware update or something, because the route keeps restarting and starting. I don't know, but yeah, 8 minutes to go then, and it's all on for the win in both classes.
Hopefully, we can keep you until the end, and. Yeah, hopefully you don't fall foul of the internet again. Used to do that. Do you remember, Alex? We used to practice for the F1, and I think when I used to have the Sky internet, I think that used to happen to me every now and again on a certain day of the week.
Once you get to the late hours, unfortunately, that's when they tend to do our maintenance period, don't they? So we've been quite lucky, I think. Actually, I know I've had one drop during this series, if I remember rightly. Where the stream got totally killed. So, but for the most part, I think we've been pretty lucky.
Half a second place and heating up. Iannucci versus Thomas, 2:05.8. 2:05.8 for both of them on that last lap. Mike Dam was slightly quicker than them, but you can see the damage he's got.
Got it down to 1.8 seconds though, Adam, now, so...
Yeah.
Made a good move, it was over 3 seconds.
1.2.
2 laps ago, really, so Kevin Ford losing a lot of time. Travis Frenke into the lead then, ahead of Rob Hartley. That was a nice move by Travis Frenke. 5-car battle for the race win in this category, and really not long to go now. It's all gonna have to start making a move soon, Alex. Really, if they're in the MX-5 category.
Yeah, Alan's right at the back now. He had a slowdown a couple of laps ago, so. I think for him, definitely he needs to get back into that sort of trio at the front,
1 second at the front as well.
Yeah, very, very quick lap. 2:07.3 for 2:07.3 for Kevin Ford. 2:06.5 for Iannucci, nearly a second taken out of him.
That was main traffic, guys, into turn 1. Ford, and he missed the apex there again, so he's feeling a little bit of pressure as the guys start to. Hunt him down a little bit now. What we said, he needs that complete package, just a little mistake creeping in here, there at the end of the race is Look what happened at Montreal. Give that victory away on the very last corner of the race.
And look what happened last week as well.
Yes, yeah, that spin and the engine blow up.
Engine failure.
We might be in the running for one of our classic Ricmotech finishes, where the two classes are with each other on the final lap of the race. The Mazdas are just coming through the exit of Ascari. Now we're just going into the first Lesmo, and we're about 6 seconds or 7 seconds quicker than the Mazdas, and we've got 6 minutes to go. So could be
definitely possible. Yeah, it's not going to be too far off. I think maybe the Mazdas might be too far in front. Stephen Thomas right behind Iannucci. What do you think he's going to do here, Alex? Do you think he's going to try and make a move on Pat? Or do you think he's just going to let Pat continue doing what he's been doing and catching Kevin Ford? Yeah,
I think maybe for a lap he'll just sit tight. They need to be right on the tail of Ford, don't they? I think before they start battling again. Otherwise, when he gets by, he'll be out of the slipstream again. So
3 wide.
3 wide. Oh dear. Here we go. Iannucci to the front again then.
Paul Albert shuts. It's his first race in the Ricmotech Sports Car Series in quite some time, and he's having to deal with all this.
Yes, and he wisely, I think, just ignores the Mazdas in that chicane anyway. Might try and clear them now. You're going to clear all of them by the Rogier. No, he's not. So this could get quite interesting, Alex, because they're going to be more than single file, I think, into the Rogier, because they've got to start thinking about being more aggressive here. Look at that! I split that pack up, Alex, that time.
Yeah, that's exactly what. Yeah, the guys just did not want that at all. I mean, of course, they're going to lose a little bit of time, but that is absolutely the worst thing for Rathje and Alan there.
Unfortunately, he's got to file in somewhere, hasn't he? The Mustang. He's got a big. Exactly. He's got a big straight line speed advantage, obviously, in that car, and he's got to just find a way to. He can't sort of let them all go because he'll lose 7 seconds a lap.
This is it. I mean, he's 4 seconds a lap faster than these guys, struggling a little bit on pace, and I think that's why you see in him the MX-5s make such a gap through the corner. He's having to be patient, and then he's losing the time and. Sort of struggling a little bit, isn't he, to get the moves done? But I think this time he should clear everybody down and into the Parabolica as long as they don't block the track.
I think that might have cooked the goose of Rathje and Allen, though. Potentially, they still might have somewhat of a chance. He needs to get through now, Schultz, because just get through, and go.
It's been a good lap for Kevin Ford. The gap's up to 7 tenths of a second. It had been as low as 2, but you can see they're having to lap the Mazdas again. And
perfect timing with the traffic as well. He's just nipped up the inside there as well. This is gonna have to make Pat wait, and all of a sudden there's a bit of a margin built up.
Almost got good momentum coming out of the corner as well.
I don't think we're going to get that epic finish that we were on about. They seem just a little bit too far away back with 2.5 minutes to go.
Yeah, we're going to get 2 more laps in then, I think. It's just over a 2-minute lap, and we've got 2.5 minutes to go. So
look who's back in. Sorry. Look who's back in with a shout in the Mustang though. Mike Dam. He was 3 seconds behind, and now he in 4th place. He's only 1.2 seconds off the lead.
Well, if he gets this one done, then it's to be probably one of the best wins of the season. 2:05.6 for him on that last lap. Was 1.6 seconds quicker than Kevin Ford in front of him, our race leader, and not front 4 all together again with 2 laps to go.
Seems to be, Alex, that no matter what we do and no matter what happens in the race, we're always going to get these great finishes.
Yeah,
we love this series.
Seems to work its way out, doesn't it? Every race recently. So.
They're definitely done. Rathje pushing hard to try and close the gap, but he's made a mistake. Alan might have a shout at getting 4th place here.
Yeah, sadly, I think it needed to be Alan ahead of Tom there. Might have had a chance of holding on to it, but definitely outside the slip.
Their penultimate lap now.
Well, Hartley was trying to get an outside move done, wasn't he, on Iannucci, Alex, and it just meant that he opened the door for Travis.
Yeah, that's it. I think we've got Alan pushing Rathje. Yes, he is indeed. Pushing him down the straight to try and get him to these guys as well.
Right. If they may have a sniff at the end. That might be all that they have. But they are closing back in.
Big time into that braking zone there. If Alan can do the same again here, it might just give them a chance, and maybe they'll have all the momentum. Right, what's going on?
Look at Pasquale Iannucci. Look at, he's got the fantastic run. I don't know, Kevin Ford might just be easing off to save a bit of fuel. I don't know. His pit stop was very quick, but Iannucci gained a ton of ground on him down that front straight.
Thomas had to defend from Dam. 3rd and 4th positions.
Simpson on cars 94 and 69 under investigation. That is Michael Monaghan and 94 Michael Ruddock. I did see Ruddock had spun around at the Roger, so maybe something more's happened there. But half a lap to go, and this battle for the lead is on between Iannucci and Kevin Ford. Iannucci has not won a race this season, while Kevin Ford's trying to get win number 2.
Stephen Thomas and Mike Dam are not out of this as well, Adam. Anything could happen. Final half a lap here at the Autodromo Nazionale Monza, into the Curva di Lesmo then for the last time. Double right-hander.
Looks like Michael Monaghan's faced the wrath of the stewards for that one.
No.
But for half a second the gap then between Iannucci and Kevin Ford is going to have to take something astronomical now, I think, for Kevin Ford to lose this one. Maybe a slowdown penalty like what happened at Montreal. We've got a third of a lap to go now.
See what happens then. Make sure you hit all those marks, Kevin, if you want to take this win. Same for everybody else, really. They've got to give it their all now. Iannucci, Thomas and Dam. I think Thomas and Dam are just too far behind. Dam might try to take 3rd away from Thomas into the Parabolica for the final time. He's going to have a look up the inside. I think he has to now. Thomas leaves the door open. Iannucci, oh, he pulls out the slipstream. He thinks about having a go. He can't. He's got a decent exit. Is it going to be enough? Adam, to the line they come.
Here comes Kevin Ford then. Won at Sebring. And he's going to do it again here. Kevin Ford in the Ford wins here at Autodromo Nazionale Monza. He wins round 6 of the Ricmotech Sports Car Series. And now we can turn our attention over to the Mazdas. We've pretty much got a whole lap to enjoy ourselves and see who's going to win this Mazda battle.
Brilliant race at the front. And John Allen's had to pit, so not enough fuel, it looks like, for him. And my crystal ball proved to be pretty accurate there. He took a risk with the pit stop to try and get back into the fray. It kind of worked. It nearly worked, but ultimately not enough juice for John. And Svenke defending from Hartley. Hartley hits the curve hard on the Roger. Here comes Giuseppe Iannucci. Is he going to have a go into the first Lesmo? Oh, I thought you could have maybe had a go there. It's the final lap. Got to maybe try that, Alex, I reckon.
Yeah, I think so.
He was right there. He had the momentum. I know what he's getting at here.
Look at that. They're really hammering it through there, aren't they? That's the thing. That no one wants to be run, you know, caught down and overtaken into Ascari, I think.
Well, yeah. We'll see what happens. Travis Svenke then still leading. Hartley, look at the overspeed of Hartley, but Svenke turns it in well. Giuseppe Iannucci gets a conservative entry to get the best exit, and he might be in the box seat here. Then Svenke, Hartley, Iannucci, and do not count out Rathje. He's not done here either. Here we go then, into the Parabolica. Final corner, final lap. Hartley's trying around the outside. Svenke hugging the curb on the inside. He's going to drift out wide. It's going to be so close here. Might be a photo finish. Coming across the line, I think it's going to be Svenke, but it's going to be very close.
Here we go.
Over the line to the checkered flag. Travis Svenke.
Just Travis Svenke. That's his 3rd win of the season. His first since Brands Hatch. Just gets it done. Unfortunately, iRacing doesn't give us the official gap because they are 1 lap down, but it was very, very close.
Once again, Alex, what a race that was, and it always brings the best of the drivers out, I think, Monza, and yeah, we saw it again here.
I think so. Great race all round. Back and forth, and yeah, honestly didn't think we were going to see that kind of close finish in the Mustangs at the end. So that's yeah, brilliant. As we see Kevin doing some donuts. celebrating his second win of the season, and yeah, rightfully so.
There's potentially been a long
Doesn't
time
want to drive
coming
too
for
far down the other way. He'll get himself disqualified. I know it's post-event, but I think the sim will still throw you out, won't it?
I think you're right.
Which would be quite funny.
You're going the wrong way.
He's actually driving the wrong way around the circuit.
In all my years of covering the Ricmotech Sports Car Series, I've never seen anything like that. Kevin Ford taking a deserved win. Adam, if you could take us to the finishing order then for this brilliant race.
Kevin Ford wins it then, just under 2/10 of a second ahead of Pasquale Iannucci in second place. Iannucci continues to search for that first win of the season. Stephen Thomas in third, fourth for Mike Dam, fifth for TD Travis Davis, sixth for Leon Wright, Brandon Whitworth, seventh, eighth for Matthew Katila, ninth and 10th the two Ruddocks, Russell Ruddock and Michael Ruddock, and then Albert Schutz, and then Michael Monaghan, who got a late race penalty, which meant he was forced to the rear of the Mustang category. Then into the Mazdas, Travis Venke takes his third win of the season, adding to wins at Montreal and at Brands Hatch. Rob Hartley second, third for Giuseppe Iannucci, who was leading, I think, that pack as we started the final lap of the race. Tom Raffjo finishing in fourth, fifth for John Allen. That second pit stop didn't hamper him too much, but it is a top 5 finish as opposed to possibly a podium in the end. Jeff Jacobs finishing in 6th position in class, 7th Chris Torman, 8th Dan Corrido, 9th Geordie Fike, and 10th Michael Key. Mike Taylor in 11th, 12th Joe Boyden, and the cars that had issues during the race. Scott Brooks finishing in 13th place in the Mustang category, 25th overall. Chad Osborne as well, retiring due to damage, we believe. And then we have got Raymond Bader Jr. And that is it in the 27 car field that we had today in Monza.
Right, and we're going to see if we can grab our MX-5 winner. And Travis Venke, well, that was a extremely close battle throughout. And you came out on top there, mate. A very close one. Yeah,
very close.
It's never not close, is it? Really? Do we ever speak when it's not close? I don't think we do.
No, I don't think we do either. You know, you might want one every once in a while, but this is a different kind of pressure here because you know you have the draft, and I think all of us were trying to save a little bit of fuel there at the end. So when I got to the point I knew I could go is when I started trying to push them so that they wouldn't. They might have to think about their fuel.
Different approach needed around this circuit, isn't it? And can you tell us, were you doing anything differently to normal in order to try and get yourself in the best possible position for the final lap?
The only thing I did different was I never made that pass into the second chicane there until that last lap. So I held off on doing that and make everyone kind of think I wasn't ever going to do that, and made sure I had that ready for the last lap, because I knew once you get ahead by there, you can pretty much hold it. It's hard, but you can hold the rest of that lap without, because there's only that really one opportunity coming out of Parabolica.
Yeah, and into the final lap and the final corner, you took the inside line, you took the shortest route to the line, and it seemed to pay off.
Yeah, by not much, but it did pay off.
Not a lot, but as I say, W is a W, and well, congratulations on the win. Is there any shout-outs you want to make? Anybody you want to say a big thank you to for in the team or whoever, really?
Just gotta thank my teammates. We've been dealing with this fuel thing since the last release. It seems like the draft versus undrafted numbers a big difference. So we kind of worked that out beforehand, what our two numbers were, and I kind of shot between it, and it was perfect. I mean, it was that's all help from other people giving me their numbers as well. So.
Excellent. All right. Well. As usual, absolute pleasure to have you in the commentary box, and we'll catch you next week.
Great, thanks.
Travis Venke then taking the win, Alex, and who have you got? I believe you've got Kevin Ford.
Have indeed, Mr. Ford.
Hey, how are we, gentlemen?
Yeah, welcome. Finally, we're having an interview where we're like, it was close, but no cigar.
That's
this
right.
Time.
Yeah, we're sporting a grin, yay by yay here.
That's it. You made us worry just for a little bit. Those closing laps. I mean, you were clear 3.5 seconds, and then those last 5 laps, that time just come tumbling down. We were worried something might have been up, and yeah, but in the end, pace stayed strong right there. No mistakes on the final lap, and got yourself a second victory.
Yeah, I was on the edge of my seat, no pun intended, but when I saw him closing in, I started conserving tires a little bit because I knew he was quick yesterday in practice. He was quick today, and I knew he was going to get to me no matter what. So I tried to just back off on the tires a little bit and save them for the last 2 laps because I knew I would need them then, and hopefully I could keep at least a little bit of a gap by the time we got to that white flag, that I'd be able to just lay into it and hopefully get through it without a without a mistake. So it played out well.
Just tell us about the challenges of this circuit and racing, because it's not just about being quick, is it, here? There's a lot of tactics involved. You took a little while to get towards the front. A bit of patience, I think, there, but it's not easy to move forward here, because obviously everybody's got the draft of the leader and the car in front, and yeah, it's just it's a tough track on many fronts.
It absolutely is. You brought up a good point. The draft here is so predominant, you know, with really any classic car, even the Mustang, as much as it doesn't pull that much. Here it seems to. I think we have enough long straightaway here that it really sucks everybody together. But it is technical. Coming into these turns, you're just so hard on the brakes, and that timing of laying that brake down and hitting that just right to come into it at the right amount of speed, maintain your pace, hit the entry just right, because the chicanes are so tight here. If you just miss it by a half a foot or 6 inches, it can just devastate your exit coming out of the left or right hander. So it is a very technical track, as much as it has straightaways, and you do get a chance to take a deep breath and shake your hands out before you get to the next crazy corner. But it is a very technical track, as simple as it appears. So my strategy early on, you had brought up, was started out there in 5th, got up to 4th, and just wanted to ride it out and let the race play itself out and let it come to me. I didn't want to take any chances tonight. I've had those recent mistakes, and just really tried to keep my mental state very calm and just drive the track.
Yeah, well, you did a fantastic job out there, and yeah, got everything spot on tonight, which yeah, I'm happy to say. Maybe this is the start of a little run towards the close of the season, and a bit of a challenge shout, maybe?
Absolutely. I think we might be on to something. I didn't think I had the pace here, and somehow was managed to pull it off. But I want to send a big thanks out to the other drivers, Steven, Mike Dam, Pat Iannucci. Those guys are just tremendous to race with, and such great sportsmanship out on the track, and wouldn't want to race with anybody else out there. They're just fantastic to battle with. So a big thanks to those guys, and big thanks to the sponsors, Frank at Ricmotech. We appreciate him, and you guys with the fantastic broadcast coverage you guys provide us. So thanks to all of you, and I do appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Awesome stuff. Thanks very much, Kevin. See you again next week.
Sounds great. We'll see you then.
Race winner there, very, very happy. Kevin Ford, and I believe Adam Bath standing by with our pole sitter, the man who finished 3rd, Stephen Thomas.
Stephen Thomas, welcome to the commentary box.
Hey, night guys.
3rd place here, started on the pole position. It looked like it was a very tough race, especially with the amount of slipstreaming that was going on. Tell us about it from your perspective.
Yeah, there's really no running away on this kind of track, so it's really just trying to manage the tires, keep them fresh for towards the end of the stints, and I thought I did that pretty well. But yeah, it was top 4 guys there. Mike, Pat, and Kevin are just extremely fast, and when you got a draft track like this, it's makes for an exciting race.
You reckon you had enough to get to Kevin Ford? Was the traffic the main issue that you were having to encounter today?
Yeah, we were all grouped up together, Mike, Kevin, and I there for most of the beginning of the second stint there. But Mike and I had a little incident going into towards the end of the lap there, so that brought us way back in the field. I think Mike probably got some aero damage on it, and I did as well. So it was just trying to keep up at that point. But Pat and I tracked Kevin back down, almost got back up too.
Next week, then, I just had a look at the schedule. I think we're off to Silverstone, another very quick circuit, and one where I think the tyres will take a punishing in the Mustangs.
Yeah, absolutely. Big tracks like that, big heavy car like the Mustang, it's all about tires. So, but again, it's big heavy track, a big wide track, so it helps cover up a little bit of the mistakes.
Oh, well done on the podium. Before we let you go, do you want to send a quick shout out to anybody?
Yeah, absolutely. With Frank with Ricmotech, we appreciate his support as well as TD's Tree Service putting this thing on. Then Kevin and Jeff, our admins, have just done a fantastic job putting everything together, getting practice sessions up, and kind of joining everybody together. Then of course you guys, you'll put on a great stream, so we appreciate that.
Well done on the podium. Shame that it couldn't have gone a bit better after starting on the pole position, but yeah, thanks for taking the time to come and speak to us, and we'll hopefully see you at Silverstone.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
All right, Stephen Thomas, third place man today. Not to be for him, but still a good haul of points. Alex, before we go, final word from yourself. How did you find this meeting?
Yeah, just fantastic meeting. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Can't ask for anything more. Well, we can. We could have had both battles going on the same bit of the track on the final lap of the race. We've had that a few times. It's been amazing. But that was the only thing that was missing from today's race. I mean, everything else just absolutely awesome.
I think you're right. And Adam, yet another fantastic race to Ricmotech Sports Car Series. It never disappoints.
No, it doesn't. It's always worth getting up for, I think.
I think you're right.
There you go.
I think we should leave it at that. I think that's perfect. It should be on a billboard somewhere. Ricmotech Sports Car Series, worth getting up for. Oh, and speaking of getting up, I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to go to bed now. But thanks for everybody for watching here on Apex Racing TV. We will be back just this evening, 8 PM, for the BSR MX5 Showdown, and on Thursday for the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship as that continues. Right, thank you everybody, and from all of us here, it's good night.
Focus, determination, passion, stamina, and the will to win. The end result, the Ricmotech Sports Car Series. Extreme Motorsports brings you the Ricmotech Sports Car Series, brought to you by Ricmotech High Performance Sim Racing Equipment, and in part by TD's Tree Service. Live Mondays, 8:30 p.m. Eastern.